Across the entire operational area, the unmanned systems forces continue to carry out precision strikes against enemy units. In the Kharkov direction, FPV drones from the 11th Army Corps of the Sever Group successfully destroyed a concealed enemy ammunition depot, triggering a large explosion and crippling logistical supplies. Meanwhile, near Gulyaipol, drones from the Vostok Group executed a bold maneuver by ramming an enemy drone, eliminating the aerial threat. In the Konstantinovka direction, FPV drones from the 238th Guards Artillery Brigade destroyed a 155mm M109 Paladin self-propelled artillery system, a BMP-1 infantry fighting vehicle, and a loaded robotic cargo platform. In Krasnoarmeysk, UAV operators from the Center Group eliminated enemy personnel and drones, weakening defenses in that sector. And in the Sumy region, drones from the Sever Group struck a UAV command post, personnel shelters, and an enemy mortar position, underscoring unmanned air dominance. Advancing along the Dobropillia axis, units of the 151st Motorized Rifle Division are steadily breaking through resistance, suppressing firing points, and dismantling prepared defensive positions along the way. Combat footage highlights coordinated strikes by FPV drone operators and Molniya UAV teams as they clear the path forward and maintain pressure on enemy-held ground. The 150th Idritsa Berlin Motorized Rifle Division, decorated with the Order of Kutuzov, continues to push its offensive momentum, methodically expanding control and denying the enemy space to stabilize the line. A powerful explosion destroyed a closed shopping mall in Kharkiv that, according to multiple sources, had been repurposed for military use since the start of hostilities. Local officials acknowledged the facility was no longer operating as a civilian venue, while footage from the scene shows signs consistent with military presence, including a damaged van typically used by the armed forces of Ukraine and reports of drones and equipment stored inside. The next video showed when the Center Group's Grad multiple launch rocket system crews, using the tactics of the continuous artillery carousel, launched an area strike at the armed force of Ukraine fortifications and destroyed clusters of enemy manpower and military hardware in Krasnoarmeysk direction. Duran drones are now equipped with MANPADS, posing a new threat to Ukrainian aviation. Ukrainian expert S-Flash warns pilots to be cautious, as these drones are controlled from Russia and can launch missiles. This is a new development in Russia's efforts to counter Ukrainian air power. Sounds like Ukrainian pilots need to be on high alert. In the Krasnoarmeysk direction, logistical support continues without interruption. Operators of the Courier Ground Robotic System from the Unmanned Systems Forces, part of the Center Group, deliver essential supplies to frontline units on a daily basis. Moving quietly through hazardous terrain, these systems ensure troops receive timely resupply, maintaining combat readiness and sustaining ongoing operations in the field. Following the capture of Grabovskoye, Russian forces have opened pressure along a new axis in the Sumy region, pushing beyond the border area after the 34th Brigade advanced from the Belgorod region and secured Vysokoye and Grabovskoye. Newly released footage shows coordinated assaults northwest of Grabovskoye, where positions of the armed forces of Ukraine are first suppressed by artillery and FPV drone strikes before assault units move in to clear trench lines and strongpoints. Activity in the area remains high, with Russian units pressing forward and seeking to expand gains, an intensity even opposing sources acknowledge as sustained and deliberate. In the Krasnoarmeysk direction, a thunderous blast shattered the silence of the battlefield. A T-80 BVM tank crew from the Center Group moved with precision, targeting concealed enemy positions. With accurate fire, they destroyed a defensive strongpoint, including firing positions and a network of hidden trenches. The operation opened a passage, weakened the opposing defenses, and reaffirmed the force's dominance along the front line. On the battlefield, the unmanned systems forces leave no room for the enemy. In the Krasnoarmeysk direction, UAV teams from the Center Group destroyed enemy ground robotic systems, cutting off supplies to the contact line and weakening the opponent's logistical capabilities. Meanwhile, in the Kupyansk district of the Kharkov region, soldiers of the 27th Motorized Rifle Brigade from the Zapad group eliminated enemy personnel attempting troop rotations, maintaining dominance on the front line. In the Zaporozhye area, Lancet loitering munition teams from the Vostok group destroyed enemy M119 artillery guns, neutralizing their long-range firepower. Elsewhere, FPV drones from the Sever group eliminated enemy shelters, along with motor vehicles used to transport personnel and ammunition, reaffirming the tactical superiority of unmanned forces across the entire front. Under cover of night, again and again, Grad multiple-launch rocket system crews of the Vostok group unleashed a crushing strike on enemy strongholds in Velikomikhailovka, Dnepropetrovsk region, wiping out manpower and shattering the Ukraine Army's defensive system in the area. Russian forces continue to hold the line against a Ukrainian counteroffensive toward Kupyansk. Fierce battles rage in the snow and mud of the Kharkiv region, where Russian defenses remain firm despite harsh weather. UAV operators strike relentlessly, destroying enemy equipment and personnel. In the past 24 hours, the 6th Army repelled 2 attacks by Ukraine's 14th Mechanized and 92nd Assault Brigades near Blagodatovka and Velika Shapkovka, preventing a breakthrough. Up to 20 Ukrainian soldiers were neutralized. Enemy losses in the West Zone exceeded 190 personnel, along with a US-made Humvee, an artillery piece, 18 vehicles, an electronic warfare station, and 5 ammunition depots. Loaded with fab bombs and ready for takeoff, a Su-34 crew launched a strike on a concentrated group of armed force of Ukraine personnel and armored vehicles in the Yug group's area of responsibility, delivering a powerful blow from the air. Across multiple directions of the Special Military Operations Zone, combat activity continues at high intensity. The Rubicon Center has deployed fast, highly maneuverable FPV drones to strike a range of strategic targets with precision. Motor vehicles and armored assets were hit in targeted attacks, followed by the destruction of artillery systems supporting defensive lines. In addition, ground robotic systems, elements of the communications network, and unmanned aerial vehicles were successfully neutralized, disrupting the adversary's coordination and mobility. At the same time, these precision strikes exerted significant pressure on Ukrainian armed forces personnel in the field. This integrated operation highlights the role of drone technology in reshaping the dynamics of modern warfare, delivering tactical advantages across multiple sectors. In the Sumy direction, the FPV drone team of the Rubicon Center carried out precision strikes. With rapid maneuvers, they destroyed enemy motor vehicles, communication system elements, hangars, firing positions, personnel shelters, and temporary deployment areas of Ukrainian armed forces units. The operation curtailed the enemy's ability to move, communicate, and sustain themselves on the battlefield, highlighting the tactical advantage of unmanned technology. On the front line, the Unmanned Systems Forces team of the Center Group plays a vital behind-the-scenes role. By employing ground robots, they ensure the uninterrupted delivery of ammunition and food supplies. These systems move steadily through high-risk terrain, keeping frontline troops adequately supplied. This technology strengthens operational resilience and sustains mission continuity in the field. Still in Dobropilya, units of the 151st Motorized Rifle Division are pressing the offensive, systematically dismantling infantry concentrations, firing points, and prepared defensive lines of the armed forces of Ukraine. The footage captures coordinated combat work by Russian artillery and strike drone teams as they break resistance and open the way forward. The Glaz or Groza system is helping Russian forces take out enemy targets even without satellite coverage. How? The UAV operator uses the system to transmit coordinates to artillery via digital channels, and the Glaz or Groza adjusts the fire based on drone footage. Sounds like a game changer for the front line. Fighting continues across the Pokrovsk and Mirnohrad axes, extending into Dnipropetrovsk Oblast, where units of the center group of forces are intensifying pressure on the armed forces of Ukraine. Russian troops are systematically eliminating enemy position and military assets in the Krasnoarmeysk and Mirnohrad areas, as well as along adjacent rear zones. Footage recorded on January 3rd captures multiple confirmed strikes, showing the destruction of armored fighting vehicles, artillery systems, mortar positions, communication antennas, Baba Yaga heavy bomber drones, and fortified shelters, alongside NATO-supplied and other military equipment, further degrading Ukrainian combat capability across the sector. That's all for today's update. Thanks for watching, and don't miss our upcoming videos.